Hey guys, it's been a week since I did the last video on the 20 long planet that I started. First video I did was when this was a week old. Another week has passed, so obviously 2 weeks old. Money was a little tighter this week than I thought it was going to be for this paycheck, so I wasn't able to buy the lights I wanted. So I actually took a 24-inch fixture that I had out in the other room and added it to the 20-inch fixture that I have up there. So I have about 38 watts or so going into this tank, which is right about good. It just takes up the whole top of the tank. I barely have room to feed them. Other than that, the big main thing, I don't even know if we're going to be able to catch it, is the shale rocks back there. I found 2 real thin shale rocks, and what I did is I took that big carpet of Java moss that I had and cut it to shape and tied it to those and leaned it up against the back of the tank. So hopefully it'll grow a wall on the back of the tank. Now, with the added light, I'm thinking about making a CO2 generator. I'll just say I went to make 2 over the last week. One for this, one for my 55. And after I made it, I read a bunch of posts and a couple videos pretty much saying that the one bottle method of a DIY CO2 reactor is very unreliable, and the guy showed why he was saying that, and you could tell just by what he was saying. He knew what he was talking about, so I have to redesign and figure out if I want to deal with the mess of silicone and all that bullcrap. So I'll figure that out, but I have that filter on here specifically because it has that nozzle on top, and when I do CO2, that's what I'll put it in or put it on, so it spits it out the length of the tank, so it's not just a air stone or a diffuser that lets it out so it can float to the surface and just pop and be wasted. This will actually break down the bubbles and throw it across the tank. So but what I'm going to do, since CO2 is the target, I have 2 20-gallon sponge filters, which I showed you in the last video. I'm going to take that one out and slide this power filter back. This power filter has no carbon. It's got a big sponge in the bottom, and it has that little green tub that's supposed to hold carbon. What I did is I took 2 different kind of basically polishing cloths and stuffed them in there, one on top of the other, so that it's just getting all the big particles, basically just polishing the water. No different really than a sponge filter. So I'm going to take that second sponge filter out and slide this back. Just because I don't want that much oxygen going into the water. It's not going to promote the plants to grow correctly or with as much vigor as it should have. So I'm kind of in the process of doing that. Other than that, really hasn't changed too much. A little bit of growth. Obviously, the Java moss is growing like crazy. Up to the heavens. That stuff's growing like crazy. Other than that, we don't really have much growth in a week. So, and I just put the second light on this, so I don't expect to see much here real quick, but probably within a month you'll start really seeing some growth in here. Still have the single neon and 4 fancy tail guppy males. There's 3. There's the 4th. I have 5 more neons out in another tank. I just haven't put them into this tank. Neons are, as I said before, my favorite easy to get tropical fish and the hardest for me to keep alive. So I'm really letting this water settle before I put that in there. I don't want to put it in there and then be reaching into the tank every day, add plants, move filters around, whatnot, stress them out. That neon right there has been with me for 2 years. Out of the like 200 I've had, he's been the one that has survived through everything. Not power going out, not working filters, not working heaters, all that good stuff. So he survived, which is the only reason he's in here, other than the fact that that's what I want this tank to be. That and probably a little pleco. But I figured I'd do a quick update, show my tank, show what's going on, tell you that the other sponge filter's coming out, that one. That'll slide back and I'll aim that nozzle towards the front a little bit. And yeah, that'll remove half the oxygen in this tank. Should still be okay not to gas my fish at night. And if I simply slide that filter up where that nozzle breaks the water surface, it will spit bubbles in there as well, so I can oxygenate the water real fast if need be. But I plan on hooking a CO2 reactor to that, at least while the lights are on. At night I may let it go, but yeah, the big main difference is that, you know, I have more planted up front and the shale rocks in the back. I didn't even remember that I had any shale that thin, so I wasn't even thinking that when I first started doing it, but I was real happy to come across these 2 pieces. Super light, super thin, super flat. Just put the moss on it and tied it down with some black thread. So we'll see what happens there. Actually, when I move that filter, I'll probably take this one and slide it more to the corner. That way I can put a plant right there in the middle in between the 2 walls that the Java moss will probably take over like it did in my 55. Hopefully this won't be as dark as my 55 video was. I have some Java ferns stuck behind the heater. Yep, but today's the day that I gotta dump the ferts and do all that with the tank, so I figured I'd do a quick video first showing undisturbed what the tank looks like. And the fish swimming around. They're all pretty chill. And even him, who's not supposed to be happy without partners, seems to be just doing ducky. And again, the fancy tails will come out of here, and this will all be neons. The only other fish in here will probably be a pleco of some sort. Some sort of pleco that A, doesn't eat live plants, and B, stays pretty small. But there's a video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll throw the 55 on here for a minute or two, just a quick update on that. Like, rate, subscribe. Have a good day, guys.